Balls are back.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! By Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello, win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now. I made up my mind. I don't expect to ever look back. I'm going to stay at the University of Tennessee.
Reddit did to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Sunday, October 2nd. I cannot believe it is October already. Holy crap. Football season is unfortunately flying by, and it's one that I don't want to leave. I was thinking about this today because I was reading just some stuff about baseball, getting fired up, and then basketball, of course, and it's like, oh no, this year I kind of want, can we slow it down a little bit? But it's October. It's here. It is LSU week. I am fired up about that. Cannot wait to be in Baton Rouge. If you're in Baton Rouge, let's get together, have some drinks, tailgate, whatever. I mean, let's do it. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be weird too because we're sitting here. This is probably our first podcast of the year that we've done in hoodies.
It is, yeah. I did one together. Yeah, I did one Thursday.
Yeah, together. But in LSU, I don't think we have to worry about bringing any hoodies.
Yeah, I haven't. Have you looked at the weather? I've not.
I looked last week, and I know that's kind of far off from when we were doing it. And it was supposed to be like 90 degrees. Was the high.
Dang, this weather's so nice. I want to go now. I don't want to go. I don't want to drop to that. Regardless, I am fired up. Here we go, and let us know right now in the chat, and then obviously later on too. But man, what a nice week, especially because there were some games that got interesting towards the end. What a nice week to be stress free. And I didn't correct you on this. I was going to say it in the podcast. Let's pump the brakes on winning the bye week. Let's see what let's make sure Monday presser doesn't bring us anything weird.
I did put a question mark.
Okay.
Or I put it on the tweet I just
Maybe.
put out. So yeah,
Okay,
I didn't
all right.
on this official episode. Yes, it says winning the bye week, which I guess that's
Question mark. Put your own question mark there. Question mark.
right now at this moment we are winning.
Good point. Good. Hey, but like Shane Beamer says, the fourth quarter is the only one that matters. That's the only one that counts. So Monday presser is the fourth quarter of that bye week / first quarter of LSU week. No, it's been a nice quiet bye week, and there was some good college football watch. Enjoyed it. I went to ETSU, UTC. Unfortunate day for the Bucks. I had people talking trash on mentions about FCS football, so it's October when that happens. You love to see it, but yeah, I think some people feel worse after that LSU Auburn game. Are we forgetting that Auburn's not good?
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's false hope on my part, but I feel like every team remaining on Tennessee's schedule, I feel better about after this week.
Yeah, and that's not to say that I think Tennessee just wins outright. I think it's going to be a tough game. I think that's pretty much going to be all of October except for UT Martin. I mean, I just didn't. It definitely didn't make me feel any worse about LSU.
Yeah, maybe the only team that I felt not as great, but I still feel good about it is Missouri. I think they played a little better, but they can also squander a lead like they did.
And they can score touchdowns. Well. That makes me feel better.
Yeah, that's true.
Can't score touchdowns. Well, that's another. Yeah. I saw some college football dude. He was doing his overrated teams on TikTok, and I was like, all right, you don't watch football. He said Georgia's not a top 4 team. Are we already forgetting week 1? Are we already forgetting what they did to South Carolina? It's week 5, by God. What are we doing?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just think that's college football this year. It just seems you're going to, especially in the SEC, on the road, you're going to have games like that.
I was about to say, that's every year in SEC. There are weird games like that. Alabama lost to a terrible A&M team led by Zach Calzada last year on the road.
God. Texas A&M.
Like,
I don't know what they did over the offseason, but they sure didn't learn how to score any points. That's for sure.
Well, sometimes you just spend too much money. It's
Are they just not playing that top recruiting class that they got, or what's?
I don't know, but Paul Feinbaum said today that a top A&M booster said he would be willing to pay Jimbo's buyout, which I think is like $80 million.
God.
So the talks are getting apparently fairly serious enough that a man is throwing around not chump change. So A&M's a disaster right now. It just has to hurt when you get a guy like a national championship coach like that and you look like that. It's got to hurt.
That's either like the biggest fan of all time, or he's just got more money than he knows what to do with.
I think it's both.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't imagine I couldn't imagine giving somebody $100 for a coach to get fired.
Who's the coach?
Any coach.
Jeremy Pruitt.
You'd give $100 to get him fired?
After 2020? After Kentucky in 2020? Absolutely.
I wasn't giving that university another dime of mine after that season.
That's a different story. But if they came to me in a time of what I felt like was need, and it was get Jeremy Pruitt on after that Kentucky game, sign me up. Whatever.
Yeah, they would have to get you right after the game, like in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, here's even worse. What I would do instead of giving money, I would go door to door like the political people that try to get you to vote. I would go door to door for the University of Tennessee to fire Jeremy Pruitt after that Kentucky game.
Yeah.
That's my time, guys. I'd do it in a heartbeat. Speaking of coaches getting fired, I'm sorry. I don't mean to talk too much college football. It's just really all we have right now. But I'm going to mention this one because make sense. Georgia Tech beating Pitt. That doesn't make sense. They did get the interim coach that Nebraska. I guess every part of the interim coach theory went from Nebraska to Georgia Tech. All transferred. None stayed in Lincoln. But how does the teams that Tennessee beat always just end up sucking, and then the ones that Tennessee loses to are national championship contenders and or national championship winners?
Yeah,
I don't get
it. That's not even the biggest upset, in my opinion. The biggest upset of college football is Wisconsin firing their coach before Brian Harson's fired.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. And the Packers played jump around at their stadium when he was fired. So.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, college football is everywhere. It just apparently means more in the Big Ten now in Wisconsin.
I mean, I didn't think Paul Chris was great, but I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, Wisconsin.
Before Brian Harsin and Eli Drinkwitz and people like that. Well, Eli Drinkwitz might have saved his job.
I hope so, but also at the same time, I kind of hope not, because that would be a dumb thing to do. But yeah, if he's around from Missouri for a few more years, I will not whine. I will enjoy it.
Could you imagine? So, yeah, Alabama lost to a terrible A&M team last year. That team still went 8-4. Could you imagine if Georgia had lost to Missouri and still made it to the college football playoff? Because that was what was going to happen.
Until they lose to Tennessee.
Yeah. Well, that's the bad thing about it. Like I was telling people last night, I was like, no matter, this game doesn't matter for Tennessee because we still have to beat them to win the East.
Yeah, and
because we have to play Alabama. If we didn't have to play Alabama, we're playing Mississippi State or somebody like that, then you're like, oh man, this game is probably huge.
Well, it could still be even with a lot because you beat Florida. That's where it was. That's why Florida was so key to your season, because let's say your only two losses are Georgia and Alabama in the season. Well, if Georgia slipped up to Missouri, they still got to play their West rival in Auburn. Then Florida, I mean, it's the world's largest cocktail party. Let's hype that rivalry up like they want to. It's a ball game, So then it could get interesting. But yeah, those
fans can even spell cocktail.
Yeah, probably. Which ones? So both?
They put lime juice in a Bud Light, and that's their cocktail.
My kind of cocktail. We've already got a question here about how bad was Daniel's injury. He's injured going into the game, right? So this is LSU versus Auburn yesterday. He was already injured, right?
Yeah, Jaden Daniels has been knocked out of their past two games. He got knocked out in the fourth quarter against New Mexico, and then got knocked out apparently he could have went back in. But then again, like if he could have went back in, why is he not going back in? Because that game,
That was not
it,
over
it
by
wasn't
any
over.
means.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think he's taking a beating. I mean, he's ran 60. Like I was looking at stats, he's rushed over 60 times. That's more than our running backs. So yeah, I think he's just banged up, and I mean, if you're gonna, the SEC is gonna take a toll on you.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a toll on Hendon Hooker. It did against Florida. I mean, it's a brutal conference, and so you're not. I know he's been used to the Pac-12, but
Shots fired.
this is a different league. You can't rush for 60 times and think you're not going to feel it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm interested to see you mentioned getting knocked out of the last 2 games. That makes me think. I mean, who knows though? With that's probably just one of those things the coach just says to the media about him. He could have come back in. Who knows the truth behind that one? But makes me think that they definitely try to get him to start the Tennessee game. How long has Mus? How do you say his name? Is it
Musburger?
Is it Musburger? I thought it was something a little bit different. I feel like he's been at LSU for years.
Oh, God, what is his last name?
Anyways, he sucks. If he gets a start against Tennessee,
well, I mean, it's not like Jaden Daniels was good anyway. He was 8 for 20 for like 80 yards.
Yeah,
Nussmeier.
Nussmeier.
Yeah.
Was it okay? So, but there was a Musburger.
Yes.
Something along those lines there.
Was.
Maybe they just said that name when I was watching the broadcast. I don't know. I took a fat nap during that game. Oh my gosh. CBS.
I mean, Brian Kelly would have been on the hot seat too, losing to a crappy Auburn team. They're down 17-0 at one point.
Oh, well, I can't wait for the hot seat talk Saturday night or Saturday afternoon because it's an 11 a.m. game after they lose to Tennessee because LSU fans have already put this game in the bag. It blows my mind. I know there's some Tennessee fans doing it too already, but they beat a terrible Auburn team. Not convincingly. Like you mentioned, it was a game right there at the end. And they immediately get on Twitter and are like, oh, this Tennessee game is going to get out of hand.
Yeah.
Have we watched the same LSU? And they act like they should have beat FSU. And we can have the argument like you had a chance to beat FSU, but you did not go and win that ball game and then just, get screwed by block. Like, you sucked your game. It wasn't a
fluke. Yeah, if you have to run your quarterback 16 times against that Auburn team, you're not good. I mean, Robbie Ashford threw for 337 yards. He's a freshman.
Yeah. And again, this is not me saying because I just know how these games go. You just talked about the SEC and the physical fight it is. Like I think this is going to be a good football game. I don't know how you can hand it to either team at this point right now. So many questions about Tennessee's defense. The good news is I feel like there's equally as many questions about the LSU offense.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you got a potential first-round draft pick in Keyshawn Butte, and they barely use him. He has like 11 catches so far this season through 5 games.
Well, I mean, you have to have a quarterback that can get the ball to him.
It's true. But, I mean, he had 1 catch for 4 yards against Auburn.
Yeah,
you got to find ways to get your – and Brian Harsin lost that game. They were second and goal, I think, down 4 in the fourth quarter, and they try a freaking wide receiver like a reverse pass.
Yeah, whatever.
And that gets picked off. I'm like, good God, did you like read Shane Beamer's playbook before the game? What are you doing?
And let's not forget, which I mean, I know this doesn't bode well for like Tennessee when you talk about where you should win. If LSU doesn't get BJ Ojulari in that game, they don't win. They don't come close to winning that ball game.
Yeah,
one guy changed the game that much.
God, I wish we had him.
I know. The moment he made, I was like, yeah, that's a guy that should have been at Tennessee. But yeah, it's if you don't.
If he would have came to Tennessee, he would have probably had to leave anyway. So
good point. Good point. But yeah, it's like if you don't have that guy, you don't win the ball game. They did score on that strip sack, right? I thought they did, but now I'm double checking.
Yes,
Okay,
yeah, I
it
think
wasn't
they
showing
did.
defensive touchdown, but now I was like, I'm pretty sure they did. But yes, they did. They did score on that strip sack. So yeah, it's just I don't know what game LSU fans watched, but it wasn't one that tells me a resounding yes that they beat Tennessee. And that's I like what you said, and we just got this comment too from someone here. Left yesterday, and you already mentioned this, feeling a lot better about LSU, Kentucky, Bama, and Georgia. Great bye week. Like, yeah, I feel better about.
Yeah,
I don't know.
100%.
I don't know if I feel necessarily better about LSU because I feel like they just told us everything we already knew yesterday. Like, I didn't learn anything new about LSU. I thought, kind of think the same way I thought.
Well, I thought they'd
Kentucky,
be a lot better on the back end, and maybe that was just kind of, I don't know, just going at Robbie Ash. I don't know, or just sitting back and letting him throw. But 337, I thought that secondary would be a lot better than that.
yeah,
I mean, if a freshman at Auburn is throwing for 337, Hendon Hooker's throwing for 575 yards.
right. Yeah, yes. So maybe feel a little bit better there. But again, they I, they
Auburn
haven't
had 4 turnovers and still
just
still
about
didn't
pulled it
win.
out. Oh,
Yeah,
the 4 turnovers.
or almost won with 4 turnovers. They had
Yeah,
4
I was about to say
turnovers.
they turned the ball over 4 times too.
Yeah, yeah.
The but like Kentucky, yeah, Kentucky. I feel again, Kentucky's done nothing super to impress me, but they go on the road, and I love that they went on the road on an SEC West team. You still got to go on the road to Neyland, a way more hostile environment than Ole Miss. They don't play in the Grove. It's a way more hostile environment.
But it
So
was
what are
striped
we?
out, Caleb.
Hey, stripes all the way. Stripes for Kiffin. Come to the SIP.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's pissed about it too. I mean, you saw the student section up there in the top just freaking brawling it out with some Blazers on.
what are you gonna do in an ugly game like that? You gotta get some kind of entertainment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I feel better about Kentucky. They hadn't played. Will Levis just looked bad down the stretch, and you can't look so bad down the stretch and convince me you're good at winning ball games.
Yeah.
So that makes me feel better. And then they get Chris Rodriguez back. I don't know what he ended up rushing for. I know he had a touchdown. You should improve drastically when you get your best player back, and you didn't. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing about Georgia and Alabama that is like a little. Alabama's kind of a different story. They didn't have that bad of a day. I think everybody's feeling good about Bryce Young getting injured. Georgia, though, what I'm not necessarily happy about, while they did look quote unquote beatable, it's also like that might be the worst game they play all year, and they didn't lose.
Yeah, 100%.
So like that one, I'm iffy on if I feel better or not about that game.
I couldn't believe it.
They look bad. JT Daniels, Stetson Bennett came back down to earth.
Well, then, I mean, their defense. I mean, those wide receivers for Missouri were going up and getting the ball. I mean, I'm looking at it from a Tennessee aspect, and I'm like, hey, if they're giving up shots, they want to play man across the board. Hey, let's play man across the board and see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Yeah.
I mean, y'all might score, but we're going to score too. We'll see who scores last.
We tested it out with Florida and still got the win. So
yeah,
I guess we'll kind of keep testing that theory. Stetson Bennett's best play was as a holder, which, hey, I love a good special teams play. Don't get me wrong, but that was his best play of the night, right?
I mean, probably. It's got to be on a highlight tape somewhere, right?
You think? Yeah, Bama. I don't know. I mean, I just trusted Arkansas to be a little bit better, and I know they gave him a little bit of a fight, but it's. I mean, they bring in. I know Miller, I believe, was a 5-star. Comes in, he doesn't skip a beat. You're like, all right, well, that's a little. I don't know. The Bama game's kind of weird for me because I think they've looked not as dominating as recent years.
Mm-hmm.
But we got Tennessee's defense right now, which, hey, Tim Banks, dial it up, prove me wrong, but right now it's just a liability.
Yeah, it's a little sus. But then again, like I going into LSU, like I feel good about it because I feel like they're not going to let one guy. Wait, what?
No. LSU is a different story with Alabama and Georgia entirely.
Okay.
I was just
thought
we
you
were
I thought
talking
you
about
were grouping them all together.
no. We just had that comment, and I'm like, yes, I do. While I do feel better about these games, like Georgia and Alabama, kind of stand alone for me
Yeah.
because they're still good football teams. I'm not forgetting what Georgia's done the past few
They can.
weeks.
They have 2 freshmen that took slants to the
Yeah,
house
I'm not. I'm
against Arkansas
not forgetting about
yesterday.
how good those teams actually are.
Yeah.
LSU, I'm not forgetting how bad LSU is. That's not to say they can't win ball games. They went and won a close one yesterday. So yeah, that's all. I just wanted to make sure that those two are separate for me, or those three, I guess, are separate for me.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just. I feel good. I feel good going into LSU. We're going. Can't wait. We're leaving early Friday. Getting
It makes
there.
me
Hopefully
feel
we.
worse that we're going.
Oh yeah, 100%. Especially like we had a friend who went to Oxford. He's a Kentucky fan, and he went to Oxford for that game. I'm like, that is brutal. I hope that does not happen to me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Because Kentucky lost the game, like
yeah,
themselves. It wasn't anything Ole Miss did. I mean, they
100%.
just two missed botched PAT attempts, a missed field goal, um, and then Levis, man,
Heisman candidate, number one.
#1 draft pick.
Mm-hmm. Don't forget it. How big are his hands? That's a good question.
Oh, they're massive, massive.
No, I guess I did just want to kind of talk about those three just because we got that, or four, I guess, because of Kentucky. That just because we got that comment, and then obviously with the bye week, those are the games we think everybody kind of glued to. Just with the Tennessee schedule, the rest. Going back into what we talked about Thursday, I mean, this bye week comes at an opportune time. I think getting this team, obviously, again, you don't ever get back to 100% healthy, but getting everybody hopefully in playing condition. Hendon Hooker gets a break, a longer break than normal on that shoulder. Obviously, was able to play through the injury, so not as doesn't make you worry as much. But when you get an extra week of rest before going on the road in an SEC battle, oh, you love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping for the best out of this bye week. I'm hoping that this secondary that's been all the talk, right? I mean
Yeah.
the offense is humming, the defensive front is playing well. It's the secondary that's got everybody kind of like we could be looking at the college football playoffs, but our secondary is kind of keeping that from happening,
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
especially after this week.
No, yes. I mean, it's honestly not that Tennessee doesn't have some more question marks across the board. Obviously, you want to see Cedric Tillman get back. I know that production's kind of been filled, but you'd still like to get your best player, arguably, back. We had a comment too. You mentioned what you just said about the defensive line. We're wasting some pretty solid defensive line play because of horrible secondary play. I mean, yeah, absolutely agree with that. And then on Facebook, if our secondary would just get 50% better, no one can outscore us. I don't entirely disagree with the sentiment of that comment. And I think it's more of just if this secondary can just be good enough to get us off the field a few times a game. I mean,
Yeah. Hopefully they use these kind of 2 weeks to not only get healthy, but hey, I mean, you got to see the outside chatter. Play with a chip on your shoulder.
yeah, go prove people wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
Me included.
play pissed off.
Yeah.
Like that. It should be a challenge. Like in practice, um, you get a little pissed off if somebody catches one on you. So the next one, you're pressing. You're up right in their face and making sure they're not getting off the ball. So yeah, I just want to play. I just think they need to play more aggressive and just play with some confidence.
Well, that might be part of it. It'd be interesting now, like with that thought, kind of go back into it. Are they flying around? Are they like, how are their mistakes happening? Because yeah, when you're not playing good football, sometimes you tighten up and you don't fly around like you should. You're not getting to the ball like you should, which is, gets into some of the tackling issues we saw against Florida. Not all of it, but definitely some of it when you're not going into tackles confident. So that would be an interesting thing to kind of go see. But what do you have to lose now? If that's the kind of mentality you got to play with,
Yeah,
what do you have to lose? Just go try to make plays. At this point, if you're making the mistakes anyways, make them flying upfield. I didn't like
Come on.
good God, Tamari McDonald several times. It's just inside to out played, killed us. Sideline's your best friend, but credit to him, he at least was flying out there. There wasn't denying like he wasn't trying to get there. Let's cool it down sometimes, especially when you have the sideline as your friend. But credit to him for making mistakes possible and being there at the ball. I'll give him that.
Yeah, I just need to see more of it, and I think that's speaking for the whole fan base. We just need to see more of the secondary, and I mean, let some of them blitz or something, cause some kind of havoc. Maybe switch up the coverages a little bit. It just seems like we're playing, and I don't know all the coverages, but it does seem very basic. And maybe that's because they just don't have a lot.
And maybe too, Florida. I mean, injuries hurt you against Florida. Like you said, got to get, especially in the secondary, just because of what you saw against Florida, you got to get some guys healthy.
But you can't let those shitty ass receivers at Florida, make you look like that.
Yeah, we don't want to make Anthony Richardson look like a Heisman candidate. I don't know what he looked like today.
Because I mean, Boutte isn't getting used at LSU, but he's still a damn good receiver.
Yeah. Don't let him get the ball in space. Still, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, if you give that much space to Alabama in 2 weeks, I mean, those slants are going to the crib.
Yeah.
Our safeties aren't catching them. So
no. Hopefully and that kind of goes back into your linebackers got to help in pass coverage too. So hopefully that's been I'm sure it has. I mean, there's almost zero doubt in my mind the emphasis on not just your secondary, but in total your pass defense. So hopefully you kind of see some of that get shored up, and I don't think you'll be as, like you just said it about Alabama. I don't think this week, if your pass defense isn't great, I don't think you'll be as exposed as you would in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
so yeah, you want to get better this week, but you're really going to see it shine if it's not great against Alabama. Now, hey, I have to assume right now that Brian Kelly is a pretty good football coach. Still an asshole, but a pretty good football coach. Surely he tries to do that. Take advantage. Because you just mentioned Daniels hadn't looked all that great when he's in. And the guy's name who sounds like Musburger, he's not good.
Well, they don't trust the backup anyway, because they threw for 5 yards in the second half against Auburn.
Yeah.
They don't trust him. So if we get a backup quarterback, I know we just tweeted out, like, does that make you feel better or worse? I know we have that battered ball syndrome. But again, we've said this a million times. This is a new team, and I don't think they're going to let a backup just run all over them, especially this backup. Maybe if in a few weeks we're playing Alabama's backup, I can't remember his name. Yeah. That might be a little different, but this guy, I'm confident if he plays, Tennessee's gonna,
take advantage.
They're gonna blow out LSU.
Say it louder. Do it one more time.
They're gonna blow out LSU.
Clip that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I hope you get to brag about that after.
We're gonna blow out their ass.
Yeah. True Volunteer said defensive game plan needs to be similar to Pitt game. I agree. I just loved how like we keep saying, Tim Banks dialed it up that game. I just feel like he didn't against Florida. Like you said, let your guys in the secondary blitz, create chaos. I feel like right now you're not going to be able to create plays playing quote unquote normal. So go and create chaos and see if your guys can create play. See who can survive in chaos. See who survives 100%. In it. You're not surviving in normal play, so see who survives in chaos. Make it a roll of the dice. I'd prefer that.
Yeah. Top 25 matchup. I don't know how you beat Auburn by 4 and move up in the rankings, but props to them for doing it. They are ranked 25th in the AP poll. Tennessee remained at 8. And I think we're 8 at the coaches' poll. I think we went up a spot in that. So I think Oklahoma State jumped us.
Yeah, they were ahead of us in the coaches, I believe, already.
Okay.
I believe. They're ahead of Kentucky, too. Now, the AP's just trying to get Tennessee football's college football playoff bid together. You got two top 25 teams who are no longer in the top 25, but those wins still count as top 25 wins.
Mm-hmm.
So,
we do have a question kind of about that.
As you get into that, while you're pulling that up, why are people who cover football or claim to cover football or claim to watch a lot of football? Why do people not understand that those wins still count as top 25 wins? Are we that stupid?
Yeah, that's all that matters.
You
They had the number next to
can't.
their name when we played them.
Well, you can't control what they do after. I mean, it's what were they when they played you? I mean, golly, people are dumb. People are stupid. Yeah, we assaulted Slovis. I'm shocked that Aaron Beasley didn't, get a warrant out for his arrest after that game. The way he hit Slovis.
Yeah, the only thing that really worries me about LSU is Jaden Daniels running it, but I like how our front seven's playing. But it's BJ Ojolari, and I'm not letting one guy beat me. I'm chipping his ass all night long. Jabari Small, your shoulder might hurt a little bit after this game too, because you're hitting him every single time.
Hey, it's gonna be worth it though, brother.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna be worth it though.
I mean he had every single sack for LSU. I think the past 2 games.
Well, and that's another thing too about just our one thing. I mean, I talked about questions, not many, and this is a small one. Our running backs definitely have to be better in pass coverage. They haven't.
Yeah.
They've struggled a little bit, especially when there's quote unquote moving parts happening. So they got to be better, and it's gonna take a village in this game to block. I mean, unfortunately, he's that good to block one guy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but the good thing is, like, he's not a linebacker. He's you're gonna see where he's lined up every single play.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, so you just got to know where he's at and make sure. And they're like Hennon's gonna be like if he gets past 2 guys, I like Hennon's chances to get away at that point. But yeah, let's keep BJ Ojolari away from Hendon Hooker as much as possible.
Yeah, don't and make it easier on Hendon Hooker because he will make plays for you. But how much better does that come when he's not having to move out of a guy?
Also, I'd like to go at him a little bit if he wants to keep rushing upfield the way he does. I'd like to run right where he was lined up. Do some zones that way, some counters.
Have you ever thought about being a fired head coach and being an analyst after? Has that crossed your mind?
The time is just something I just couldn't.
And you're an analyst. You're fine.
Yeah, but there's still you
not
don't get paid anything, and you have to spend freaking 20 hours a day at the facility, probably more than that.
Hey, you're not recruiting. That's the good news. And you got that ballot money. You're a fired coach.
Recruiting would be fun, I feel like. Especially it would have to be at like a Power 5 program. I couldn't just be, balling on a budget and having to drive to everywhere.
You remember when Last Chance U and that kid, I think he asked like Louisiana Lafayette how much they were going to pay him in front of the cameras?
Yeah.
It was a small school. I loved it.
Yeah.
And the coach was like, yeah, we don't do that. I'm like, he's probably telling the truth. But
well, he definitely got recruited somewhere before he got to JUCO, and they were giving out money. So he was like,
get that bag, dude. I ain't hating.
Yeah. It was Billy Napier too, wasn't it?
I don't know if it was Louisiana Lafayette or not. I'm not sure. Okay. It was a small school like that. Yeah, I'm not. Maybe Louisiana Monroe. Could have been all Louisianas.
Maybe.
He knew LSU handed out bags. So he just assumed the other ones did too.
So we got a question real quick from Tennessee Dad at VFL Pilgrim said, "Remember when I told y'all LSU got a bad old line? They do. They gave up 3 sacks to Auburn. They are pretty bad. I think that helps us big getting 2 Daniels. If Tennessee wins, do we actually see a top 5 matchup versus Alabama? I'm not seeing it. Yeah, you're gonna have to have people to lose before you're moving up to the top 5.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, I don't see it happening either. Just because you sat back at 8, you needed more people to lose this week. I don't. USC is not going to lose, right?
I mean, if you go blow out LSU, maybe you do see a jump, but I still think it'd be tough to get to 5.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think 6 is the highest you get. You might unseat USC and Oklahoma State. The AP voters are not moving Clemson. They're not. It's not going to happen.
No.
It doesn't matter how bad they play.
Michigan plays Indiana. That's not going to happen. Georgia plays Auburn.
Where's
CBS game.
Where's it at? If it's in Jordan-Hare, this could be a classic, almost fired Auburn coach win.
It's in Athens.
God dang it! Sorry, Brian Harsons.
Alabama plays Texas A&M. Texas A&M can't score, so if Alabama scores once, I think that game's over. So
Clemson plays Boston College. So, hey, we could.
and
fake
USC
field
plays
goal
Washington
upset?
State. Washington
field goal
State would
upset?
be the only one that could be an upset.
Well, I just don't. Well, I think as far as talking about jumping rankings, you said if Tennessee blows out LSU, then I could see a potential unseating of USC and or Oklahoma State. It's the Clemsons
Yeah, I
and
can see that.
it's the Clemsons, the Michigans, Ohio States.
Yeah, kind of the blue bloods are not going anywhere.
I don't see them getting jumped. Yeah,
That's a good point.
I don't see it happening. But I mean, to that point though, too, if USC goes and blows out Washington State, probably doesn't matter what Tennessee does. So, it would have to take a wild week in college football. Here's my conspiracy though: does CBS have enough influence? They're getting the Tennessee Alabama game no matter what.
Oh yeah, it's going to be at 3:30. Yeah.
Can they get it into a top 5 ranking, top 5 matchup for ratings? Hey, let's talk conspiracy theories because I'm all about it.
I got a question that was asking about, like, do you think we could be a night game? And I don't think so, because CBS is going to pick first. They're going to pick Tennessee, Alabama. Alabama is playing at night this week on CBS, so they're not playing a night game next week.
Yeah, and I don't know how many doubleheaders they do each year. I can't remember. I think it's just 2, but I don't think it's back-to-back weeks.
Okay.
So I don't think CBS gets a night game next week.
Okay, well, they're going to pick Tennessee.
Yeah,
I don't even know who else is.
I can't remember who's playing that week. But I mean, let's be honest. They picked Tennessee and Alabama in mediocre years for Tennessee. They're picking Tennessee, Alabama. Whether Tennessee's 4-1 or 5-0, they're picking Tennessee, Alabama. Yeah. I mean, and Tennessee should be wearing obviously orange at home, and Alabama should be wearing crimson. Get this rivalry back to the good old days.
Gross.
Dude, come on. That's a beautiful matchup.
I'm just talking about crimson. I just think
Well, what even is crimson?
Right.
What is a crimson? Red. What is a crimson tide? It sounds terrible. Sounds like a venereal disease, if we're being honest.
Okay.
Which checks out for that school.
Yeah, it sounds like it does sound like just, I don't know, just like gross water.
Checks out for those beaches. All right, we're good. Yeah, heads up. Don't.
Which could probably lead to venereal disease.
I swear to God, if anyone mentions Orange Beach right now, I will lose my mind. I will kick you out right now. You're gone. Tony Vitello, you right out of here.
Are you streaking?
We never confirmed. I haven't seen anyone confirm nor deny if Tony Vitello went streaking after the Florida win.
Oh, dude, so I got to tell you this, and I don't know if I'm supposed to share this, but I will.
I love it when your stories start like this.
So I went to a dinner. It was a charity dinner last night, and they did a silent auction. Well, then they did a live auction at the end for some different things.
Like one of the here we go.
They had an auctioneer. Yeah,
awesome.
It was
this impersonation, by the way.
It was an old guy, and he did a great job. He didn't do enough of it, but anyway, it was, when he did get going, it was pretty impressive. But they're auctioning off you and I think 6 of your friends, or maybe 7 of your friends, either way, got I think a $500 voucher.
I like the sound of that.
And you get fitted for like a suit.
Okay.
And you get to play pool, because there's pool at this place. You get to play pool with Tony Vitello while you're doing it.
I'm gonna be honest, that's a weird gift package. Cool.
Yeah,
but
what
a weird. We're gonna get you fitted for a suit right next to Tony Vitello.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So did you bid on it?
My first question was like, is Tony getting fitted? Because like I could probably make a lot of money off of if I snap a picture of him in his underwear. But no. Guess how much it sold for though?
Oh, probably a stupid amount. Like, I don't know, thousands.
$6,000.
Tony Vitello raising money for charity.
Yeah. Oh my God. I couldn't imagine. I mean, like, First of all, like I don't even know how long does it take to get fitted? Maybe a minute. Like you just play in one game of pool and then you're out.
I got to imagine it's a lot longer at a place that advertises that you get to play pool while you're getting fitted. Surely.
Also, Tony's got to be like you got to tell Tony before he goes in there because I'm sure he's just like, man, what is this? But then they're like, hey, dude, they paid $6,000 to do this with you. He's like, oh my god.
I could see Tony doing it up. He does everything.
I bet
big.
he does. I bet he does.
He does everything big. So,
but still, like I would just feel like it would be so. It'd be like, John, it's your turn, and you just start stripping and getting fit. Yeah, it just seems like a weird thing, but yeah, hey, super cool if you have that kind of money to drop just to hang out with Tony Vitello.
love to see it.
We're going to do that for free one day.
That story went nowhere where I thought it was. That was off the wall, I'll be honest. So, like I said, I love when your stories start. I don't know if I should share this. They get weird, so I like it.
But one day, me and you should get fitted with Tony Vitello, or we can just go play pool somewhere.
Yeah, I mean,
we could do it for charity.
I'll take Tony's money. You think he might be pretty good at pool?
I bet
he seems like that's something he's weirdly good at.
I feel like he's really good, and like he's one of those people who are like good at everything.
Probably. I hate those kind of people, so maybe we shouldn't hang out with Tony. I don't want to hate him. I hate that I hated him. If you're good at everything, just know that Caleb Mitchell hates you.
Speaking of hate, Ross Kivett. Houston's so bad.
Oh, screw Houston. Into oblivion. Screw Houston.
I tweeted at him.
Did you?
Kind of drunkenly. And I was like, I need your boys to help me out tonight. And then after they lost, I deleted it because I was just mad in the moment. But
I love that. Well, I guess I didn't double down on him. I tried to make some money back on him. I'm gonna revenge bet you, Houston. I should have revenge bet Texas Tech this week. This is the week to do it.
Yeah, Dana Holgerson, you're trash.
Yeah,
and your 6-year quarterback who can't manage a play clock, he's bad too.
And you're the worst for not being able to manage a play clock from the sidelines.
Yeah,
standing by yourself. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's not like he was pulling out his hair. He doesn't have any.
Whoa! He's still got the mullet with nothing on top. All right. Respect for me.
Just give it up, man.
Respect for me. Nothing but respect.
He looks like a Viserys from Game of Thrones.
Yes, he does. It's a great pool. Yes, he does.
Joe, you want to get in here?
I hate college football.
I think you're back. I thought you were about to say I hate Joe.
I just hate him.
We're just gonna start spouting off people we hate.
Yeah. Good sports. If your name's Joey Boots.
What up, Joey Boots?
You got
what do you say?
Gloves?
No, I got the thing on still. Yeah, I'm rocking.
You're I thought you were wearing mittens for a minute.
Yeah, he's
it's not that cold, is it?
Cold.
Yeah, he's got to save money on that. He's not turned the heat on yet.
No. That's $10 to be in the month.
I still have my AC on, so.
Love
so
it.
does Raven. I'm like, dude, I'm freezing.
You keep your AC on 74.
Well, she's like, are you working from home? And I'm like, no, I can't work from home. I'll die in this ice box.
Gotta get a space heater, bro.
Yeah, I know. So let's get into college football a little bit. Houston, terrible. Let's get on with that one. Shane Beamer. Oh my God.
This is the I hate someone segment.
God bless. I mean, a lot of my notes for college football is just about teams that just suck. Shane Beamer, you suck. You going for 2 on a swing gate. What are you doing? And then you immediately do an onside kick.
What I really don't
to
understand.
beat South Carolina State.
They won the fourth quarter.
They did. Congrats to them. Hey, actually, let's stand up and
little round of applause for Shane and the crew for winning the fourth quarter this week. Good job, guys.
Yeah.
That's a big dub. It's a big dub.
Big dub. That's one of my favorite things about the show is when we stand up and clap and You just get a junk
crotch
pick.
shot.
Yeah.
Clip it. What I don't understand about that, going for two, whatever, but you pull out something like the swinging gate, you probably could use in a game that matters. What are we doing?
Yeah, you're just like, okay, well, we know they can run this. Hey, let's practice this. Is he just trying to take up, another 5 minutes of practice time?
Good point.
For opposing teams, he wants to make them practice 5 more minutes.
That's actually, I like that.
That's how they win the fourth quarter. They're tired from that 5 extra minutes.
That is, I like that.
That's next level. I need to write that down. In case I do become an analyst one day, here it is. That's my first note.
South Carolina fans, if you're still gargling Shane Beamer's gonads, you suck.
Whoa.
Like,
it's not college football. It's the "you suck" segment.
Listen, if you want to sit here and say, like, let's wait it out, let's see what's going to happen, blah, 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 blah. Like, if you want to do that, like, second year, still, a roster to fix, fine by me. But why are you sitting here pretending Shane Beamer is God's gift from Steve Spurrier, who only coached at your poverty school because he was bored? I mean, good Lord, he sucks. And you should not be defending him. If you want to sit here and say, let's wait, let's see, okay, I'll respect that because you cheer for your team. But get off of his language I can't use right now. This is ridiculous. He's terrible. He's done nothing but terrible decisions on the field. Congratulations, you beat Florida in a terrible year, in a Dan Mullen firing year. Congratulations.
He also hates when women are on the football field. So
yes, good point. He hates Title IX. Forgot about that. But then also, he's a douchebag to the media. Like someone's like, he's a great guy. Okay, he may be a great guy, but he's a douchebag when he's on camera. Period. End story. The only perception I get of him is on camera. So if you don't want me to perceive you as a douchebag, don't be a douchebag on camera. It's that simple. And I know what y'all are saying. Caleb, you sound like a douchebag on camera right now. I want you to think I'm a douchebag. That's the difference.
Yeah, but that's your job. He's got a job
Exactly.
to win football games.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, Shane, if you want to trade seats, we can. But just know that I will do better than you trying to do worse than you at South Carolina.
Preach.
Ooh.
Seriously, I think you could win more games trying to lose.
So that's the key. That's another note. Hold on.
Well, if they don't know if we don't know what we're doing, then they definitely don't know what we're doing.
By the end of the show, I will be one of the best coaches in college football.
Best analyst. Don't get too far ahead. You're trying to get fired first.
Well, I'll be an analyst, and then I'll be a head coach at some crappy school in like Arkansas.
Unless you're Bill O'Brien, Alabama's offense looks pedestrian while you coach, and Nick Saban just chews you out the entire time.
Oh, but he'll still be a head coach somewhere.
Probably. Butch Jones got another job. He's about to lose another job, but he got another job.
Guess what? They got to pay his buyout. I mean, if you just win interviews, you land a job. Who cares what you do after that?
Buyout Jones, baby. Greatest gig in all of college football.
I mean, are we still paying him?
We have to be, right?
Probably.
Long
after we're gone, we'll still be paying Butch Jones.
No way we got out of that. Speaking of people who suck and we hate, Greg Schiano running across the field to yell at Ryan Day about a fake punt that was obviously not designed.
Oh, yeah.
And then he gave that little point.
Well, then they blew up the punter
on the sideline, out of bounds.
Yeah, so your team got a 15-yard penalty for that, and you're running over there yelling at Ryan Day? God.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I actually kind of wish
that's a loser mentality.
I wish it was a planned fake kick because I like the cuck move. You know what? The spread was 39. There's 39.5, right? Or was it? What was the score? 49-10.
It's 49-10.
The spread was. Yeah, the spread was 39.5. So I appreciate trying to cover the spread. I respect that.
That's a good point. Also, Rutgers still lost the fourth quarter. So in Shane Beamer's book, you suck even more than just losing the football game. You also
in Shane Beamer's book, that's actually really good for them. But that's a win.
Yeah, I don't get the running across the field move at all. That's pretty
also
dumb.
how can you prove you can't prove that that was coached. Like you don't know if it looks like it wasn't planned. But even if you think it wasn't, how can you actually be sure that it wasn't?
As a guy who's punted, I'll tell you, I think it was. If you want to call it planned, quote unquote, I think there was a plan. The plan goes as far as telling the punter, "We're moving you out of the pocket, quote unquote, and if you have space in front of you, you're going to run it." But he probably has that green light every time he's on the field.
Oh, 100%.
You're not going to tell him, "Hey, don't do it this time." Why would you do that?
It's probably something you saw on film that, every time in that game.
Like, right? No, I bet he has that green light.
If he probably does, but I'm saying for that game, you probably see it on film where you're just like, hey, they're going to come to one side. If that side is wide open, you have room.
You're going. Yeah, you're going. And also, if I'm a punter and my head coach is running on the field and he says, "Don't do it," and I see a chance to run for 20 yards, you bet your happy ass I'm doing it. You kidding me? I don't get a lot of chances to log rushing yards. I'm taking them.
Right. Yeah, and if you don't get it, then you're in trouble. So you got to make sure you get it. But he got it.
He got it,
and then he got it.
Even better, he got to see his coach, Big Dick, the other coach. He won, baby. That punter won.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, what are you arguing?
Well, it was like Pitt last week. I respected the self onside kick. He just said, "Fuck." Well, yeah, everybody else. He's just gonna go for it. That was a half save.
Oh. Count it. It's a half tackle for a loss.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get how you can just be like, "Oh, you're a sleazeball because you did a fake punt up 39 points." Hey, you did something a lot worse. If we want to bring that out,
true.
Also, to the people who are like probably trying to get your team fired up, you're down 49-10. You ran across the field. You're also going to see that coach in about 5 minutes because he's going to kneel. He's going to run the clock out. You can't wait that long. You're too much of an emotional roller coaster to tell him, "Hey, F you," 5 minutes later in the coach's handshake. Yeah, you're a coward, Greg Schiano. You knew there'd be people there to hold you back if you ran across the field. You're a coward.
True.
But screw Tennessee for not getting his ass.
Screw Michigan and Iowa. 42 points? You can't score 42 points together in a football game. You suck. The Big Ten sucks.
Well, Iowa's just fucking awful, but Michigan does. That was a letdown performance. They shouldn't be ranked as they are. I'll say it.
I agree with that. 4's pretty high.
I think they should.
But also,
their defense is that good.
Well, also, who do you rank above them, right? I think it's like the same thing with Kentucky. Like, someone else has got to win big and or they lose to, like, jump them kind of deal.
Well, I'll go on record in saying this. Like, when I look at what Tennessee's done and how they've won, any other year, I feel like I'm not saying this team is a top 10 team. But it's kind of just – But then again, like, I look behind us, and I'm like, I don't see any teams that I just feel like we shouldn't beat. I just think that – I think it's super top-heavy, and then it's kind of some good teams underneath that.
Are you saying in the year of NIL, all of the good teams aren't the only teams that can win in college football? Surely that's not right, Landon. There's no way. You're lying. You're lying. I don't believe you.
I don't believe you. True story, bro.
When am I getting paid?
We're going to make fun of Clemson and NC State real quick because Clemson stormed the field. I know. They do it all the time. It's embarrassing. Don't storm the field against NC State. Stupid.
Yeah, it's just embarrassing.
Stop it.
If you do it every game, could you imagine winning like 50-something-0? And they call it, what do they call it? The gathering at the paw. Is that what they call it?
Maybe, but why is that not considered classless?
Do they have to pay a fine?
I think it's an SEC thing. I don't know if it's an NCAA thing.
God dang it! but I do kind of get it to a certain extent because if there was that option maybe to storm, I can't say that I probably wouldn't do it either.
Yeah, but every game, like every semi-significant game, like that.
Yeah, you can't do that. I wouldn't. If we beat Ball State, I'm not storming the field. I'm not wasting my time going down there. But if we beat Florida, like I'd be happy to just get on the field a little bit. That'd be cool.
It'd be nice, but like I do think it's nice to save it for like if Bama was to happen. That if they try to, they ain't hold. If we beat Bama, they're not holding me back. I shit you not right now. I will go to jail.
Oh yeah,
no,
they're fine.
I'll touch the grass.
But that's what storming's for. That's what storming should be for. Upsets, major
I'll get
upsets.
a fine. I don't care.
Yeah, you made more money in beer.
Yeah, seriously.
During the first quarter than you would if we stormed the field. You had to pay that SEC fine.
Yeah, no. If you beat Bama, I mean, Danny White should be leading the charge.
Yeah,
leading the charge.
Oklahoma, you suck.
Oklahoma sucks. We're not betting on them anymore.
Yeah,
terrible teams. We don't bet.
I think TCU might be pretty good.
I thought they were decent. Yeah, they might be pretty good.
I think Max, dude, that run that he had. Did you watch that game?
No, I didn't watch that game.
He had a run. It was like 80 yards. And
well, I was gating my tail off at noon. Think I'm gonna watch terrible football teams play at noon? Get out of here. I'll save that for 3 o'clock. The Bucks.
I couldn't believe it. Dylan Gabriel is trash.
I wanted to tweet this,
but he was the only reason why Josh Heupel won football games at UCF.
Yes, of course. I didn't want to tweet this because I didn't want to deal with the arguments because it was a little bit of like a tongue-in-cheek joke. Did you see? I can't remember what touchdown was thrown by Caleb Williams. It was awful. It was in any other league probably other than the Pac-12 against Arizona State, who's awful. It's probably an interception. They scored a touchdown. I was like, I want to tweet. No wonder Caleb Williams, Lincoln Riley didn't want to play in the SEC. It adds up. I know that people are stupid and they wouldn't entirely understand that joke. So I'll let that one slide, but I did want to present it on the podcast for your all's opinions.
I say next time you let it fly, I'll deal with them. You can send them my way.
Just tag you in it and then tag you in the first comment and let it go. Yeah, I had Texas fans arguing last night.
I live for that. But
are they pretty good? Is Texas pretty good?
I don't know, but they're classless, and apparently it's the thing. It shouldn't be a thing. Apparently, when players are injured on the field, they do horns up.
That's so fun.
They're like, we do it we do it to let them know that we're thinking of them. I was like, you don't understand how that looks. And then one guy's like, what are we supposed to do? Stand there with our thumbs up our ass? I'm like, yeah, you just stand there and let the medical staff tend to him because.
No, you're supposed to take a knee.
Yes, bingo. I'm just like, wait, what? Yeah, players being stretchered off. Horns up for you. For an opposing player, by the way, not a Texas player. Horns up for an opposing player. Is that
better or worse than having somebody carted off and then saying that they are penalized 15 yards for targeting?
Dude, I don't know. At least he didn't have the audacity to say that he was ejected from the game because it was like, no, yeah, I mean, he was so bad.
I wish they had. Like, oh my gosh.
Number 7's been removed from the game. Yeah. Thanks.
I bet I could find it. I bet I could find like a Texas fan right now being like, oh, I'm glad he's out of this game or something. We're definitely going to win now. Like some stupid crap like that. Like,
yeah. He's a transfer from Ohio State, I'm pretty sure. And I was thinking, oh, that's a pretty big name in the transfer portal. I wonder if he's like one of their starters. He has 5 tackles on the year, and one was that play, I'm pretty sure. So
he got registered as a tackle. All right, I'm gonna move on.
Yeah,
I can't.
He did get to leave the hospital, so I know we're making a joke a little bit, but
he's good now.
He did get to travel back with the team, so he's not. We did do our research after the fact to make sure if we did make fun of him, at least
I'm not making fun of him. I'm making fun of the Texas fans. He just happens to be in the middle. Okay, let's just put it there.
I'm making fun that he didn't even. He was still on the car, on the turf still, and they're like targeting. I'm like, damn.
The fastest review ever. They don't even have his face mask off yet.
Yeah, I mean, he was probably having his thumb up, letting everybody know he was good, and then he just gets that. You've been ejected. Yeah, targeting.
Why are we acting like Penn State's the best team? Northwestern 17-7. Penn State.
Yeah, that was gross.
I've been saying they're overrated. I know it was rainy or bad weather or whatever, but they stink. They're not. I mean, they're good, but they're good for like their region of Big Ten football. I want to bring them to the SEC and show them what a good time's like because they stink.
Oh,
That's a
I like
call
that.
out, Penn State.
James Franklin, you're scared. You ran from the SEC.
Yeah.
Oregon State sucks. I bet on them after last week. I'm an idiot. Kill me.
That line was just so weird.
I don't disagree, but Utah hasn't looked great.
Is Utah good?
Well, they can't be because they got beat by Florida, who's not good because they got beat by Tennessee. So see what you're doing there is you're going to make Florida look good. And you can't do that.
Is UCLA good?
No. Washington sucks.
They kind of had their way with Washington. I think
Washington sucks. Michael Penix Jr. Heisman candidate. Ooh, can he beat UCLA on what, Friday, or they play on Thursday?
Friday.
Friday.
Yeah, on a Friday night.
Friday Night Lights, baby. In the Rose Bowl.
How many people were at the Rose Bowl this week? Did they?
There was actually a lot.
Oh, was there? Okay. I thought there was. I thought there was more fun things to do in LA. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, I bet on Washington, thinking, oh, it's just gonna be a no-show game again, and it's gonna.
Oh yeah, I bet on Washington too. I think everybody pretty much did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because no one has any faith in DTR at quarterback for UCLA because he's been there 8 years and hasn't won shit with Chip Kelly. But yeah, he finds his way. I bet on him. He finds a way.
Heard you.
I went 2-3 on locks.
Do we start fading ourselves?
I'm thinking about it. What did Dylan go? Do you know?
3-2.
3-2.
I
need to get my locks out next time because I'm red hot right now. And I say that.
Yeah. Here, you can have my spot, Joe. I went 0-5. To be fair, the one Landon wouldn't let me change would have won. I should be 1-4 this week, which isn't better, but
it's actually more impressive that you lost 5 straight. It's actually pretty.
It's
hard to lose 5 as it is to win 5. So,
to be fair,
did you not take Kentucky?
I took. Well, originally I like talking trash. So originally I took Kentucky to win, but I picked them to cover and won that bet. But you wouldn't let me lock. You wouldn't let me change my locks.
You wouldn't let me change mine.
I said you could if you'd let me change mine, and then you said no.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So,
also, I know
what's fair is fair.
But you wouldn't let me.
Normally, but -3 for Tennessee. I already know that could be a Thursday, but I feel like I should just catch it. Like I know I shouldn't bet it because then I'll physically change the outcome of the game. But 3 points just seems like such a steal. Like for some reason, I just have the energy that we're gonna walk right. It's noon. You can't get that much energy going down there.
Are you going, Joe?
No, I was supposed to be, but I'm going up to Ohio for fall break. So that trip's expensive.
You travel more than I travel for work. You travel more than anybody I've ever met in my entire life.
Joey Boots and Joey Air. Joey coach business class.
Yeah, you better have rewards or something going on.
Since you're Joey Boots, do you get to board first when they call for active military? Or
yeah. Yeah. I show my student ID and I'm like, come on.
Yeah. You know who I am.
You know.
Yeah. Usually that doesn't work, so I just like bum rush the door and just get first
on. Wake Forest, I did win that live bet. Florida State almost screwed me.
Yes, dude.
What were they doing?
I was hoping that the over would hit too.
So I'm a fan of kicking a field goal there when you first get down there, because you're going to need the field goal anyways. But then when you leave like 1:50 left with no timeouts, well, now you can't kick the field goal there. You got to try to score, because if you get the ball back, you just made it a lot harder on you to score. That was just a bad decision. And then they almost screwed my bet, -1.5. So
did you watch the Pitt Georgia Tech game? Did you watch that game?
No, I didn't. I should have turned to it. I watched what games I did. Last night I took a nap and woke up.
It was 9-7 after the third quarter. The final score was 26-21. They scored 31 in the fourth quarter. They scored 16 the other 3 quarters.
Jeez. So I watched LSU Auburn. I watched Wake Forest, FSU. I watched some of the West Virginia Texas game. And then what game did I watch before I went to sleep? Pac-12. Who was it? It was not fun to watch.
USC.
I guess it was USC. Was that the late game?
Yeah.
Dude, after I woke up from my nap, I was like, I didn't know if I was on planet Earth anymore.
That's the worst.
And then I ordered DoorDash Taco Bell again.
God.
I want to drive. I'm lazy.
Jesus. How much was that bill?
It wasn't expensive. It wasn't as expensive in Johnson City. It was like
I was going to say, you scored friggin' $40 on Taco Bell.
Not this time. I wanted Pals,
Party
but they
pack?
don't DoorDash. So
Can we not put Texas A&M back in the top 25 ever again? I mean,
I think
they
we should.
suck.
I did watch some of that game too. I think we should. I think they just by default, because they're a recruiting class, they should have to be in the top 25 and just lose all.
Oh my god! You're just giving everybody that plays them a top 25 win.
Exactly. I'm sorry. I know he had a good game yesterday, but can we not act like Will Rogers is all that good?
Yeah, he's not good.
He's not. Mississippi State's not that good. Whatever. Haynes King is trash, by the way.
Also, the
Garbage.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Well, Max Johnson's been the quarterback recently, hasn't he?
Yeah, Haynes King. Max Johnson, I think, got hurt. Haynes King came in at the end of the game and threw 2 interceptions.
God.
On 13 attempts. He's awful. The only thing he can do is he's kind of fast. I don't know what he is. He probably got sacks. He might not end up with any rushing yards. 14 rushing yards. He's awful. I've never been happier for Tennessee to miss out on a recruit. He'd probably be our starter for the next 4 years if he was here.
True. I know you guys might have talked about it, and I know that Arkansas sold the bag. They fumbled it, but not literally, but both. But can we talk about that onside kick? That was executed to perfection. That was awesome to watch. I just enjoyed watching.
Wait, who's this?
Arkansas and Alabama, when Arkansas got that. That was such a weird place to onside. I'm here for it. I like the balls, but that onside kick was awesome. You're just like seeing them. You're like, oh, there's 2 players about to get it, and they just cross and just. If you haven't seen the actual video, which I mean maybe you have, it looks so good to just watch 2 Alabama players get decked. Right when everybody catches the ball too, like they're like so open just to grab the ball, and there's 2 of them, and literally just Arkansas players just cross and body them.
I don't think I did.
It really did. I've got the. It's probably gonna be a bad video.
Yeah, just text it to me. I'm not gonna.
Also, is BYU's mascot the most athletic person in the world?
Not anymore.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Smokey is now.
No,
you seen
you see the
Smokey?
table thing?
I did. I think Smokey could do it. This Smokey, I think he was the same one last year. Dude is athletic as hell. He can do the backflip like the Cougar. Now, have you seen? I would say yearly BYU has the most athletic mascot. Have you seen them? Have you seen them throw him from the 3-point line and dunk it? Which I mean, I know he's being thrown, but that still takes athleticism to fly through the air like that and dunk it. So yeah, I would say on a yearly basis. Yes.
Did you see the table thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we were talking. I mean, that's
oh my god,
pretty cool. Smokey could do it though. I have faith.
Like, why are you playing a sport? Is kind of my question.
Cheering is a sport, Landon.
It's a sport.
Does he get credit for a national championship if the cheer squad wins it? Is he part of that?
They have. I mean, so Tennessee won it a few years ago.
I'm pretty sure
they have like a. They have like a national champ. They have a like a cheer team, a cheer squad division, and I'm sure BYU's won it before. So yes, if they win that, he does because he's part of it.
Okay.
Cool. They have a whole routine. That's when Smokey does a backflip in.
I thought I had something else.
Oh man, yes, and the kicker recovered it.
I know, it's just a perfect 10 yards. Kicker got it. Both of them just got pancaked and absolutely served.
Did y'all see the Myrtle hurdle?
No, I don't think I did.
It's the Shants.
Are you trying to make words up again? Like, are you trying to make it a thing?
No, that's what Coastal tweeted. The Myrtle hurdle.
Well, send it to me, Landon, so I can watch it.
Oh my god. Well, basically what happens is they're down, I think, a point to Georgia Southern, and they have a run up the middle, and he just hurdles the safety and gets into the end zone.
Do they end up winning?
To win, yeah.
Go Shants.
Yeah, they right off. They didn't cover the team total though. I didn't bet on it. I almost did.
Did the over hit the total?
No, I don't think so.
Hate to see
I don't think it would. Because I don't. Yeah, no, it would have missed by a touchdown. I think.
While we're just talking about football, I'll send you all this. Landon knows this is my favorite play in football in high school this week. This is one of my most importance. A team won by doing a kick to win. So where you fair catch it on a punt, and then you get to kick it from where you fair caught it at.
I saw that.
They kicked it and won. Free kick in
That
high
was
school
great.
football. I didn't even know. I knew you could in the NFL. I didn't think you could in high school. And you have to know the rule because you have to declare you're doing that before the punt.
But so you're saying so it was a fair catch on an onside kick?
On a punt.
On a punt.
You may be able to do it. Well, and then like if there's any penalty yardage, like say like God, what's it called? Like fair catch interference, kick catch interference. Like if that happened, you get moved up even farther. But I mean in high school, if they're punting from their own end zone, I could believe that a punter only got it there. For sure. Especially if he caught it in the air.
For the punter, the kicking team punted, the receiving team fair caught it.
No,
and,
yeah.
I mean,
and then
so far.
And then the receiving team got a chance to kick what's called a free kick to win it.
From where they got the fair catch.
Yeah, from where they caught it. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, technically, was like the time expired?
I don't know if the time was expired, but it is an untimed down. So
okay, I was about to say, 'cause I mean, that's kind of normal anyway.
I believe you can. I think there has to be time on the clock to do it. I believe.
Yeah, he does call timeout after they do it, and they're getting them back on the sidelines.
Okay. Yeah. But
That's
insane. I believe it's untimed because there's not a way to time it. The ball.
So I do have a question about that. If they miss the kick, is that they don't get possession, right?
Correct. It is. Yeah, they lose possession.
Oh.
Yeah. Again, I think so. Ballsy. I don't know the full rules. I believe so.
I'm totally missing something, but that's fine. I'll figure it out later. It's been a long weekend of watching football. My brain's in not rule mode right now. It's just in betting mode.
So the receiver just can't. It's a totally dead ball. Receiver can't return it if it's missed.
Huh. Good to know.
I don't think they get a chance to block it. Like I think you have to stand 10 yards back.
By the way, I don't know if it showed you my username when I shared the TikTok, but I officially hold the Tennessee Athletics TikTok.
Do you? I was wondering what that was. I was like, who posted this?
That's awesome. Yeah, I saw the kid on TikTok did it for like some women's basketball team, and I was like, you know what? So Tennessee Athletics, if you have an offer for money for you want your TikTok username,
I tried doing that when we hired what was his name from Penn State, defense coordinator. What was it? Shoop?
Yeah, Bob Shoop.
I tried doing that with him, and they just used a different, like they used to use always like UT Coach Shoop, and so I got that Twitter account, and they just like put an underscore in it or something. So yeah,
I'm gonna get one day. You should have the inside scoop.
Shout out to the .com era.
Yeah.
Most important. Or do we have any more questions, Landon? I know we had one at least.
Yeah, that was the only questions we had. Of those. Most important?
Yeah.
Most important. Did y'all see the Myrtle hurdle?
No. Oh, well, I forgot you sent it to me.
I sent it in that group.
It was right after I sent right before I sent the
I didn't see it.
Free kick one.
I know, Caleb, you're not a big Cardinals fans, but or Cardinals fan.
Oh, I was like, what?
But the Cardinals did do a cool thing today where they took out Adam Wainwright, Albert Pujols, and Yadier Molina out at the same time. And
I love that.
Sanio, pretty cool.
Yeah, love that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
you're right. Cardinals suck, but I love that. Also got the speaking of fake punts, Greg Schiano would have hated this, but did you see the Vikings fake punt today?
No.
Their punter launched it. I don't know who it is.
Oh, I think
it had to be
the London games are too early for me. I
honestly forgot it was on, and I just happened to get up and like turn it on. Yeah. I mean, it had to be a 35-yard throw, like in the air, first down, baby. Love when you can take some footy away from the fans. They were probably like, "What the heck? This is one of the few kicks we get this game."
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
They were confused for sure.
Joe, you got one?
I did, and it just left my head, which is awesome.
Oh, nice.
But I got some fails, so maybe it'll come back to me.
I got Cleveland knocking off Maryville.
Go Raiders, baby! Look at this.
Friday night, 28-24.
We're Blue Raiders in this house.
She's gonna kill you for showing that.
Probably. She gave it to me. She can't be mad.
It's the first region game that Maryville has lost since 2000.
Which is insane.
Do you know the team?
Halls.
It is Halls. Yep.
I was at that game.
Were you? Oh, nice.
Lexi Herstad used to coach.
Yeah, big Halls
Actually,
guy.
I might not have been at that game. I might have been there when they beat. I think I was there when they beat West in overtime. Maybe that wasn't the Halls game. Maybe that wasn't the Maryville game. Yeah, 2000 sounds too early. Now that I think about it.
Do you have any more?
I believe that's all my most important. I think the rest of mine are fails.
I think this is the most important because I just think he's just a big enough athlete where this is acceptable. But DK Metcalf got carted off the field to use the bathroom.
True. I respect that though. As a receiver, you need your full extent of your energy. So if you got the access to go take a piss off a cart, well, it could have been number 2, but
it probably was. If he was too scared
that's
to walk.
my assumption. he was turtling. He couldn't walk if he wanted to.
He said that clinch walk wouldn't have made it.
Love that.
That's great.
Any more most important?
No, the rest of mine are fails.
All right, let's go fail.
My first one is everyone that thinks they could diagnose Tua Tagovailoa's injury from TV. Like, that's a brainstem injury. What? I'm sorry. And then also, the Dolphins medical staff. Listen, he may have not had a concussion last week. I know that what he probably had, or I would assume what everybody else is assuming. But if you see a dude stumbling around, grabbing his head, you probably just don't put him in that game, and let's evaluate tomorrow.
Right.
Brainstem, Caleb.
Yeah, it could have been a brainstem injury for all we know. It just blows my mind. Like, even if it was a back injury, he couldn't stand a drive. He couldn't stand a drive before this, and you're going to put him back in the ball game? Are we insane? And I think like part of the hate is like, if that play happens 2 months from now, he still gets a concussion and probably just as bad. He got slung to the turf hard. His head's like whiplashed on it. It was bad, but you're not getting as much crap about endangering an athlete's life then in that scenario. So I don't know, maybe just protect them, because like that's the thing too. Wanted to play, right? Like every athlete.
Yeah.
But like sometimes it's your job to protect them from themselves. They're in that position for a reason because they played through that kind of stuff before. So you got to help them out. You got to do them some favors.
That boy was throwing up some signs though.
Dude, that was the nastiest concussion I've ever seen.
Well, I didn't see like the first part. Like I just looked over because it was on a TV. We were playing poker, and I like looked over, and that's all I saw was like I could hear the announcement of it or whatever. And I looked over, and I thought it was like some I mean, I've never seen someone go that bad with like the stun. So I was like, oh my god, he's actually like Ryan Shazier. Like this is bad, which it still is, but
yeah,
no, it was nasty. And like that's another thing is like, I mean, he left the hospital that night,
right?
Are the Dolphins going to put him in next week if they don't get the
I'm sure they would.
It blows my mind, dude. I'm just like, again, you can't diagnose it from a freaking TV screen, especially some people who have zero medical experience. But it's one of those things like, hey, if it looks as bad as it looked, let's maybe like wait and evaluate him away from the game. Like maybe he needs more than in-stadium evaluation. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So.
Somebody else who needs serious evaluation is Antonio Brown. What is this man doing?
First off, that's the tweet of the year, right?
Yes.
Wait, what?
His tweet today?
What was his? I didn't see it.
Oh my god!
Is it a real tweet? The last time we thought it was real too.
It was from the verified account. I'm pretty sure.
It might have been
AB84 AB check verified.
It might have been. Let me look. I did see, but I saw the. Yep. Okay, it's tweeted. I'm telling every team that needs some offense to pick up AB because he's shown that he still has the ability to expose a D at NFL.
So it was him that actually.
That's his verified account.
I'm staring at it on his account.
That's
got 30,000 likes.
That's pretty good. But also,
it's only got 3,000 likes now.
Dude, anybody else does that, they are in
30.
prison.
Him and Sean Watson would make a hell of a time.
You
Not that it
can't
makes
just
it better,
you
but did
can't
he
just
know the
bounce
girl?
your bare ass on somebody's face twice.
The girl that added Emily on Snapchat yesterday at the tailgate would beg to differ, Landon.
And then somebody's yelling in the video, he's waterboarding her.
I'm like joking about it.
I'm like,
Oh, he's gonna
what?
waterboard her.
Yeah. Oh
Surely
my
he did.
gosh.
Not that it makes it better, but surely that wasn't some random girl, right?
I think
I read the report on the New York Post, and the New York Post isn't the most
They aren't the best capital J's.
most believable people in the world, but it did say that he just met her.
Oh gosh, what an idiot!
And apparently, like I don't know Dubai, but apparently, like you're not supposed to like show skin, and he was just walking around the hotel with his shirt off, just like
Was that in
bumping
Dubai?
people with his chest. Yeah, he was in Dubai.
Yeah, that makes it significantly worse. Can you imagine the
Idiot.
headline that like Antonio Brown's been like taken hostage by just like somebody somewhere for whatever? You could. I mean, I'm sure you would.
Here's the thing. I'd say keep his ass.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't think anyone would be.
Bless. Don't get people started on that. Did you? Well, like at the World Cup, you can't drink like outside of like designated areas, like in the stadium, and I think like resorts. You're not allowed to drink, and then you can't have like sex if you're not married with your significant other. Like it's like prison time if you get caught.
Oh yeah, yes, it's like yeah, crazy.
Which I'm boycotting this World Cup. Don't ask me why. You won't like
Why?
my answer.
Also, I don't understand the people that are like still like Antonio Brown is just sitting there freaking stroking his junk why are you still in the pool?
Who was videotaping? That dude needs to be in jail too.
There were several people.
Probably the guy yelling waterboarder or whatever he said.
The people amaze me. The things people catch on camera blow my mind.
If no one's there filming Antonio Brown, he's not doing that.
Probably. That's a good little social experiment. That's a good point, Landon. Hold them accountable too. But no, Joe, the U.S. men's national team is going to suck. Our uniforms suck. Sorry, our kids.
Did y'all see this?
No. What does that say? What is that? You're just showing me a picture.
It says Antonio Brown at a public pool.
God bless.
Barry Wood.
This is my other fail.
Oh, dude, they all looked so bad.
Stripe it, baby.
Lane Kiffin thought the fans showed out. They, in fact, did not.
Yeah, that's terrible.
They might have, but just in typical Ole Miss fashion, they were all discord and everything.
Also, y'all said that was Tweet of the Year. That might be, but also this one is one of my favorites as well.
Oh, dude, that was some of the like UFC injuries are nuts.
Get that off my screen.
It does look like she's
dude. Did she win her fight by chance? Because that would be impressive.
Yeah, that's one of those things where you rebuttal and say you should have saw the other girl.
Boom. Exactly.
And then she's got like a chicken breast like stuck to her face or something.
God, before you showed that, what was I saying? I hate you.
You were talking about UFC, the World Cup.
Yeah, we can get past that. But the funny thing about you talking about tweets of the year, that was tweeted from the official account, right? The Stripe the Stadium. That was that picture.
I don't know if this was the.
Well, I was telling Landon, why do you not just take the picture from the other side of the stadium?
Yeah,
it's not striped. It's at least decently striped right there in front of you. But you have the Kentucky fans on the opposite side. The band is what in the world are we doing? Just so much stupid.
Yeah, I mean,
it looks like an MLS soccer game. I'm be honest.
It really does just mean more.
Not Nashville
to Tennessee. I mean, we got USA on the field right here, and we're doing red and blue, and we can't even get it right.
Yeah, it's low-key.
Tell them.
Yeah, that's conspiracy right there.
Take it back.
Yeah.
Will Lutz has officially. Cody Parkey's been saved. Cody Parkey is no longer the double doink man. If you've seen Will Lutz's double doink this morning,
oh man, it was from 61, wasn't it?
I think it was deep, but it was. I thought it might have been 51, but
it was 61. It was like from the.
So at least in
midfield.
fairness, I shouldn't say like obviously the same like it wasn't like the same situation. It wasn't on the same line. Like Cody Parkey's just still just way funnier and like just way more chaotic. But that thing was half a rotation of an inch before that thing bounced in. And so Cody Parkey technically cleansed the double doink because that was so bad. I watched that. It was ridiculous. The posts are not being friendly. Kickers suck this season in the NFL. Put me
Except
on
for
the
the safety for the Chiefs. I can't remember.
true.
I don't remember what this picture is, but
that's great.
I'm going to show it.
Oh baby, I put that up. That's when they were clowning Kentucky for having beef between Stoops and Calipari.
Yikes.
Can you go back? Why will Bruce Pearl not button his shirt up? What are we doing?
It's better. At least he has a shirt on.
Good point. I have another fail too. Did you all see that fishing tournament? Those dudes get caught putting baits in their fish.
I saw a lot. I saw.
Dude, they're lucky they didn't like get
there
murdered.
Yeah,
It
people wanted
sounded
to.
like the crowd wanted to murder them.
Yeah.
So here's my question though about those fish. They weren't trying to hide it. I mean, they said those each lead ball weighed 8 pounds. He pulled at least 3 out of one of those fish.
That's why I was confused. I was like, would you not be a little more subtle? Like,
Yeah,
oh,
that's like
8-pound fish.
either like they've done it so many times where they've never gotten caught, or this
They're
is
like-
their first time and they didn't know how to cheat.
He's like, Jimmy, just throw in another lead ball. They've never said a word before.
Yeah, he's like,
How would
oh,
they know?
let's throw in some cod and whatever fillets in there too.
I mean, like
Dude,
a couple
apparently
pounds.
cheating is prevalent in fishing. Like apparently people will take out like live fish in a crate and leave them in the water. Like they'll go out like a week or a few days early and set it there and then come by and get it during the day.
Yeah, usually they put like GPS on your boat where you can't. I mean, obviously there is probably ways around that, but that's kind of one way that they do kind of monitor it a little bit. Like if you're like on the land, if your boat's on land, they're like, yo.
No, apparently they put those crates in the water and then they come back and get them. Like they'll come on the lake like a week early, drop like live ones just in a crate, I guess, with some type of food in there to keep them alive, and then come back and get them the day of the tournament. It's insane. People, I mean, they said they won $300,000 last week. Those dudes that cheated.
It's a ton of money in those things.
Crazy.
It's insane.
And like, yeah, you get freaking crazy rednecks mad over. They'd get mad over $50. $300,000. Oh my gosh.
You'd get mad over $50.
Oh, 100%.
It's a lot of Cracker Barrel, dude. I mean, I would use that. Well, there's also the dude that.
How many Cracker Barrels you been to? Because you travel a lot, so you need to start like hitting every single one in every city you go to.
I hope to beat every Cracker Barrel in every state. There's probably not one like Alaska or Hawaii, but the landlocked states and everything. Well, there's the guy, the chess player that got. I mean, I don't think he was cheating.
What?
But there was
He
a possibility. Was he?
Oh yeah.
They said he was. They said that that he was using the vibrations from. I don't want Landon to bonk me. This is bonk territory. The vibrations from his tool to tell him, like, I guess, which moves to make. I don't know how that works.
And I do have. I got
talking about Antonio Brown still.
Surprisingly,
maybe
not.
he could have. I could see him doing that, but
no. But my friend went to high school with him, and they were actually friends in high school, and said he talked to him, and that he was like he's like shown us videos that he was like a whiz, and like he shows a video of him in like 8th grade in class, like. He could play chess in his mind and not even see a board and like just make every move. Like he's apparently a prodigy. But
did they verify that he wasn't wearing that contraption though during that?
I don't know how you do. I mean, do you like? I mean, you can't go back and be like, "Word." I mean, that's kind of your word. There's really no proof to check the footage.
How do they check him like to confirm that?
I don't know. I guess there's gonna be a new standard. You gotta strip search if you're about to do it.
Yeah.
Bend over and cough. We're doing
all right. In the red corner.
Yeah,
step over here first.
Wrong kind of gloves. My last one is, and I don't personally care that much, but so the whole Aaron Judge thing that like every ESPN game they just cut off half the game and decide to show the Aaron Judge batting. It wasn't bothering me in a sense that I want to see him hit it and didn't care that much about the game going on. But if that was a Tennessee game on ESPN, I'd be livid. All right. I don't need, if I want to see him hit a home run, I'll switch over to ESPN Dose. I don't care. But
yeah,
don't.
That's what me and Caleb were talking about yesterday, doing that.
It's just,
And you're putting so much added pressure on the guy.
Oh.
Oh, can he not live up to it, Landon? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm just saying, like, it's just dumb that they're just, I don't know.
Say it. The lights are too bright for him.
He's gonna get subbed.
I'm not
Say it.
saying that. I'm not saying
He's
that.
not gonna beat the record.
Would they be too big for Shohei Ohtani? I don't know. It's a good question.
Shut the hell up with Shohei Ohtani.
Not my MVP. Unless he does
Yeah,
it.
Shohei is not
No,
my MVP.
Aaron Judge, unless he does it. Not my MVP. Yeah, it's so stupid. And I actually clicked over on Friday night. I did click over to the game to like see if he'd hit it, but every time I came on my screen, I just cussed ESPN because I was like, "What are we doing?"
Well, here's the thing: like, if you want to put on like at the bottom, Aaron Judge, yeah, go to this channel. Like they do it with they won't change a game over from like a Pac-12 11 a.m. kickoff that scored 10 points in 3 quarters over to like a Tennessee Florida game. They wouldn't change that over, but they're going to change a guy hitting a home potentially might hit a home run.
Yeah, I was about to say, like 3 minutes later, they could just scroll to the bottom and be like, Aaron Judge struck out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I just need a ticker. I don't need to actually watch it. I'll watch 3 plays. I don't need to see the 4 balls thrown in a row and him get walked.
Yeah, that's the thing. Also, like he's getting walked so much because no one wants to give it up.
Well, I love that people are booing him, and I'm like, guys, the Orioles do still. Like it was 3-2, I think, Friday night, and they were booing whoever was on the mound. I'm like, guys, he's still got a game to win. You're not pitching Aaron Judge in that.
Well, they need a tank anyway. So.
Well, but
they need to lose every game.
That dude's still got to get paid though next year. He ain't just gonna let home runs fly just because the crowd in Yankee Stadium wants him to pitch to Aaron Judge.
No, you just
blame it the rest of the season, just all the way through the postseason, everything. Just
God, that'd be terrible.
Stuck at 61. Try again.
There's one guy like I feel like the last game. You like if he doesn't have it by the last game, you're just like, all right, dude, I'm throwing you a meatball. Just hit it.
I'm at least throwing him something he can hit. Also, how cool would it be like I struck him out and I gave him every pitch he wanted?
Yeah. I'm like, dude, Aaron Judge is going to hit this. If I'm like a rookie or something, he's going to hit it, and I'm going to get something signed by him. Me and him are switching jerseys. I get that jersey that he hit it in.
I'm throwing it at Aaron Judge for having the audacity to step in that batter's box thinking he's going to hit 62 off me. That's disrespectful.
To be fair, he has been hit quite a bit too, which is just like.
Well, good. You don't think I can throw a ball 6 feet 7 inches in the air at his head? I will. I ain't scared of Aaron Judge. Shohei Ohtani, I would never throw at him.
Shut up.
What about Albert Pujols? There hasn't been enough talk about him. What's going on?
He's at 701. Or
I know.
702 now. Yeah.
So good. I didn't see any channels switch over to that.
They didn't, which
true.
I thought was weird, but
you did bring up a good point. Why win games? So they don't want to flip over and blow out basketball games, which whatever you want to finish the game out. So they've had the ability to go split screen this whole time, at least.
Yeah. What? Yeah. But yeah, that's ridiculous. That's a good point. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'd get if it's a close game. Yeah, let it finish out. Go flip over on ESPN News or whatever. But okay, you want to finish the blowout broadcast? Fine by me. You could split screen it.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was like the fourth quarter of that Kentucky Ole Miss game, and they kept switching over, and like he got like 4 straight balls thrown to him. I'm just like, why? Like, why?
Yeah,
this is a close game in the second half, and you're sitting here just you're not. They would split screen it for a second, and then they would switch totally over to it.
It's just hilarious to me that ESPN is making people hate baseball in a world where you really don't need people to hate baseball.
Oh yeah, I mean, they're making people hate Aaron Judge.
Well, he's a Yankee. We all hate Aaron Judge.
Well, yeah. I mean, they probably already hate him in general, but now they just give him another reason.
Right.
He's plus 255 to hit a home run tomorrow against the Rangers. I take that. But I got to be sharp because I can't. If I do it twice, then I can still do it twice and still make money in theory.
Shout out DraftKings because they did a hit for him the other night. I don't know if you took it, Joe, but he got walked 4 times in the game, and then they refunded everybody, and then did it again, and he hit 61 that day.
I like that. I like when they do that. They realize there was one last year that it was like this big thing that they all did, and then it was like Tom Brady rushing yards, and he like nailed it 3 times and got like lost like 1 extra yard. There goes Landon. No, he's coming back. Don't know what's going on. But yeah, and I remember I was livid because he literally missed it by like 1 thing, and everybody else was flipped.
DraftKings paid me out for something. I don't know what bad beat I had yesterday, but I got a free bet for something. I haven't seen the amount.
I'm also gonna hit my. I did a little 4-leg teaser today. Seahawks plus 13.5, Jags plus 16.5, Steelers plus 7, and then Chiefs plus 11.5. Threw out 28-10. That's easy money.
Yeah,
I like
Tom
the-
Brady just threw a touchdown to Mike Evans.
Oh, I need to learn Fournette. I'm gonna lose in fantasy.
My fantasy team sucks. I also forgot to take out Amon St. Brown. So
Oh,
yeah, that was brutal. I had a bad week putting stuff in. I went tailgating yesterday. I forgot to put in my college football pick'em. Forgot to change my fantasy lineups. Tough week.
I do in fact think that there was. I've been killing the boost lately, doing some same game parlays, and there was one tonight that was mostly in favor of the Chiefs. It was like over 70 yards for Travis Kelce, a touchdown, or over 60, a touchdown. Mahomes over 250 passing yards, Chiefs to win, and then one other thing. And I'm pretty sure they're all on track to hit. Actually, Mahomes only has, well, he has 126 yards in the air almost by halftime, so he'll probably be fine. But I'll be a little sick because I forgot to bet it. I got in here and whoa, hold on.
I hear Landon.
I'm back. Yeah, that was weird.
Get it together in South Knoxville.
I don't know, dude.
Get it together. That's all I've got. Sorry, I just got back in here, Landon, but that's all I've got.
No, that's fine. I was just kind of getting here to close it anyway.
I'm impressed how quick your internet came back on if it flickered.
Caleb's
Oh, no. Yeah, Caleb's would never.
No, I'd be out for days.
Yeah, guys, that's all I got. Joe, you good? Got anything?
I'm good.
All right, guys. We will be back on Thursday before we head down to LSU. We'll be previewing them a little bit more. Baton Rouge, baby. Previewing them a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe we'll try to get a guest on. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, guys, that's what we got. Appreciate y'all hopping in. Have a good week. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.